Hello, my dear student. Here I am going to discuss one new topic, that is leukopoiesis. The process of development and maturation of white blood cells is leukopoiesis. All the blood cells develop from pluripotent hemopoietic stem cells. These stem cells, pluripotent hemopoietic stem cells, after several divisions and after several maturations stages, it converts into the progenitor cells, which is also known as colony forming unit, which is also known as CFU. Okay, and leukopoiesis can be discussed in two headings. The one is formation of granulocyte and monocyte. Another one is the formation of lymphocyte. Today, I'm going to discuss the lymphopoiesis. So, in earlier class, I discussed the granulocyte and monocyte formation and development. Here, I will deal I will discuss the lymphopoiesis. What are the stages of lymphopoiesis? In this slide, you see the first cell which comes is pluripotent hemopoietic stem cells. These converts into lymphocyte stem cells. These migrate into thymus and peripheral lymphoid tissue. Lymphopoiesis, you see the colony forming unit lymphocytes divide from the lymphocyte colony forming unit lymphocyte B lymphocyte and the colony forming unit lymphocyte T lymphocytes. The colony forming unit B lymphocytes migrate to the bursa equivalent locations and divided into B lymphocytes. And this colony forming unit lymphocyte T, which is T lymphocytes for the T lymphocyte, undergo mitosis, migrate to the thymus, which finally develops into T lymphocyte. There are two types of lymphopoietic organs. One is a primary lymphopoietic organ, which is known as bone marrow and thymus, and there is secondary or reactive lymphoid tissue, which can take part in the lymphopoiesis. In the primary lymphopoietic organs, there are two primary lymphopoietic organs. One is bone marrow, another one is thymus. Secondary or reactive lymphoid tissue, you see the lymph nodes, the spleen, and the gut-associated lymphoid tissue. The primary lymphopoietic organs are bone marrow and thymus, where there is a constitutive means there is a continuous development of lymphopoiesis takes place. But in the secondary or reactive lymphoid tissue, which are lymph node, spleen, and the gut-associated lymphoid tissues, which is also known as a reactive lymphoid tissue, when when there is a need to produce the B lymphocyte and the T lymphocyte in against the different infections and other to promote the immunity, then the lymph node, spleen, and the gut associated lymphoid tissue takes part in the lymphopoiesis. In, uh, in the lymphopoiesis, the first is after this pluripotent hemopoietic stem cells and the CFUL and the CFL T lymphocytes and the B lymphocytes. Here the first is lymphoblast, then the pro lymphocytes, and then the lymphocytes. So there are after this initial divisions, initial development, the lymphoblast comes, then the pro lymphocyte comes, and then the lymphocyte finally comes in the circulation. Here you see the only the pictures of the peripheral blood smear. When you prepare peripheral blood smear, you see the picture of the lymphoblast and how it looks. It is depicted here. This is a picture of lymphocyte, which you see when you prepare a peripheral blood smear. Next thing which I would like to discuss, that is regulation of leukopoiesis. What are the factors which regulates the leukopoiesis? One is colony stimulating factor. Cytokines which control the formation of different types of granulocyte is known as colony stimulating factor. It is a glycoprotein formed by the monocytes and the T lymphocytes. And here the one is granulocytes colony-stimulating factors, monocyte colony-stimulating factor, and granulocyte monocyte colony-stimulating factors. The other interleukins, the control lymphocyte formation, that is IL-1, IL-3, IL-4, IL-5 and IL-6, are the some example which takes place in the leukopoiesis as well as hemopoiesis. Means this granulocyte colony-stimulating factor, monocyte colony-stimulating factor, GM colony-stimulating factor, and IL-1, IL-3, IL-4, IL-5, and IL-6 are not only regulates the leukopoiesis, but it also regulates whole hemopoiesis, where it where the erythropoiesis comes, where there is a platelet formation comes from the megakaryocytes. So this the colony stimulating factors and interleukins are the important regulators of leukopoiesis as well as hemopoiesis. Total normal WBC count. The total leukocyte count varies with age. As you see here, the adults normal adult total WBC count or total leukocyte count is 4,000 to 11,000 per microliter of blood. At birth, full-term infants 10,000 to 25,000 per microliter of blood. In infants means up to age of 1 year, it should be the 6,000 to 16,000 microliter of blood. So if this fourth, if it is the WBC count, the total leukocyte count is less than 4,000, this is known as leukopenia. And if it is in adult, if it is more than 11,000, it is known as leukocytosis. So one is leukopenia, another one is leukocytosis. You should understand. Here in this slide, I would like to discuss the hematological neoplasm, means the malignancy. There are three important form of neoplasm which I would like to discuss here. One is leukemia, other one is lymphoma, and the third one is pre-malignant conditions. Leukemia, which is bone marrow, blood, blast. Okay, here so there is the bone marrow. You examine the bone marrow, you examine the bloods, peripheral blood smear, where you see the blast, means the immature WBC. So up durations wise, acute or chronic, cell of origin wise, myeloid or lymphoid. This may be AML, LL, CML or CLL. In lymphoma, it originates from the lymph nodes, and it can be Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That there are two pre-malignant conditions which you should know at least the name of these two pre-malignant conditions of the blood. One is myeloproliferative syndrome, that is MPS. Another one is myelodysplastic syndrome. I will not go into detail about these lymphoma and the pre-malignant condition as well as leukemia, which you will learn this chapter in great detail in the pathology. What is leukemia? Leukemia is a group of malignant disease of blood. In this, the total leukocyte count is more than 50,000 per microliter. So whenever you investigate any blood for the TLC and DLC, and if the total leukocyte count is more than 50,000, then you must think for leukemia. So what is the another characteristic of leukemia? When you see the peripheral blood smear, there are plenty of immature WBC present in this peripheral blood smear. Proliferation of leukemic cells takes place mainly in the bone marrow and in certain form in the lymphoid tissue. How to classify leukemia? There are two bases on which you can classify. The one is on the basis of cell type, and other on the basis of natural history of disease. On the basis of cell type, it can be of myeloid and it can be of lymphoid leukemia. On the basis of natural history of disease, it can be acute and it can be a chronic. So finally, what are the types of leukemia? The types of leukemia is AML, ALL, CLL and CML. AML stands for acute myeloblastic leukemia. ALL stands for acute lymphoblastic leukemia. CLL stands for chronic lymphoid leukemia, and CML stands for the chronic myeloid leukemia. In this slide, you see there are three pictures. One is a normal peripheral blood smear. Another one is acute peripheral blood smear of acute myeloid leukemia, and the second one is a picture of the chronic myeloid leukemia. So up to by seeing this picture, you can understand up to certain level that how this the different peripheral blood smear looks. Thank you for your patient hearing.